Hey guys, this is Eddie here, Fanatics for Football. What's going on? Um, Wanted to talk about uh, people's criticism of um, United's youth system and how Mourinho's allowing all the youth to go. And um, I personally, um, I have a different take on the whole youth system and the direction that coaches take in developing the youth and cultivating that environment for them to grow and to have a chance at the first team. So, um, first things first. Realistically, uh, most of the kids in these youth academies aren't going to make it into a respective club's first team. Um, the golden generation for United was obviously the class of '92, when you had Scholes and Nicky Butt and Giggsy, and um, those plays were exceptional. If you want to look at the current generation, you have like a Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba, arguably Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Jesse Lingard, I feel, is more of a utility player, but still could have make an impact on a team. So these are exceptional players, but guys like Will Keane and Andres Pereira and Guillermo Varela certainly could possibly play for United one day, but nonetheless, creating an opportunity for them to grow is ultimately the club's job. I still feel like developing professional players is ultimately the goal of the club. Realistically, most of these players will not play in the even first team. They wouldn't even make the bench, and that's okay. Yanazai, another kid from the youth program, got his chance a few years ago under Moyes, did well. You saw glimpses. You see the ability. He's always had the ability, but could he really? Does he really deserve a starting a spot in the starting 11? I just don't think so. And realistically, I know you guys don't either. So, but I do feel like having a few youth academy representatives in a club's first team is I feel like that's a reasonable expectation. That's a reasonable requirement, especially from the fans. I had like a boner watching Rashford come into the game and make an impact like that. Like, that's freaking awesome, But I know that he's an exceptional person. He's an exceptional player. And for us to identify that, we need to kind of continue to cultivate that. We need to keep on giving him these opportunities. I think Mourinho understands that. I know that a lot of people don't believe it, but I think he would be a fool not to develop this kid. So I feel like that's what the purpose of the youth program is. It's, at the end of the day, it's to develop solid professional soccer players. So if you're loaning them out or you're sending them out and they're able to sign contracts of their own with other clubs, it's great. Of course, you don't know which player will become what. There's players with great potential that don't do anything. There's players with speed and trickery and skill and all these things, all these intangibles, and they don't amount to anything. I'll even give you one better. Remember Denilson, years ago, superstar from Brazil, signed for Real Betis for enormous amount of money. Was proposed to be what Ronaldinho was. He was a complete bust. I mean, complete freaking bust. So we can't really talk about just because a player is immensely talented means that he's going to be a superstar. It's not true. So in Pogba's case, everything worked out at the end of the day. He chose to leave, and it ended up working out in our favor. Yes, we're paying an enormous amount of money to get him back, but guess what? Look what you're getting. He's a far more developed player than he was at the time. I don't know if he would have developed the same way if he had stayed with the team before, because he probably wouldn't have broken into the first team for who knows how long. So at the end of the day, that's the goal of the youth academy. But when you see guys like Rashford and Lingard making a difference in games, that makes you feel good. That puts heat in your ass. So that's all I have to say about that. So look forward to seeing Rashford grow. Definitely hope that he's our future striker. I'm psyched, man. I think Zlatan coming to the club is the best thing that could happen to that kid. So, just my take on that. Love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Hit the like button, subscribe. See you guys next time.